We're going to have audio, video recordings of you. I'm going to be taking notes, and this is always voluntary. And you can decide if we can use this data for future. And then please put your name and sign. Even after the interview, you can talk to me and we can decide if you want to share what you say with others.
No, I want to share. I think the whole world should know from my point of view, from the LGBTQ,
Yes.
which I'm not sure if we're interviewed as often. I really don't know. I don't know if we are, or if the girls like me are afraid to say what we should, what we've worked hard to do.
Okay, so we're going to start, and Auntie Lynette is going to be asking you questions.
Yes.
Here are some of the questions. You can follow along.
No.
But she won't.
I want to be surprised. I want to be spontaneous.
Very awesome. So can you introduce yourself, what your age is, what island you're located on?
Kimberly, Haupu, Tavares, my married name. I'm 74 years of age. I'll be making 75 next year, April 20th, which is a Wednesday. So actually, my ohana is from Hanamaui, Kaupo, and my mother migrated here. I'm not sure when, but we were here on Oahu. I grew up on the mainland for 10 years. I was born in 1949. We moved to the mainland in 1950. We lived there from 1950 to 1960. And then we came back home. And we lived in Ewa Beach for 2 years. By 1961, we were here living on the Waianae Coast. And it's been my home ever since.
You consider yourself an activist?
I am.
So, and then what do you do as an activist? What does that mean?
I go to rallies. I gone to the rally for Senate Bill 1, which was to promote same-sex marriage at the state capitol. It was a big thing here. My nieces, who are much younger than me, invited me to come up. Auntie, please come up because we need old-timers there. So I went up there. It was wonderful being an activist, letting society and the world know that we're here and we have rights. And that equality belongs to everybody, not only one side, everybody.
So how long have you been doing this and being involved in this kind of political activity?
From the time I was 25 and right up to now, 74.
And prior to 25, what were you doing then? I'm just curious.
Okay, so my parents kicked me out at 17 because they didn't like what I was evolving into, mahu. So they sent me away. They just kicked me out at 17. They were devout Catholics here on the Waianae Coast. My father was a police officer at the time, and I was an abomination. So they sent me to live with my uncle and auntie in Nanakuli through my senior year. Lived there with her, and
during your high school years, did you do any kind of activism?
No, I'll be honest with you. It was hard. It was a struggle being mahu in the 60s and trying to get out of it. Least of all, thinking of anything else but saving my ass so I could become an adult and just make my way to becoming who I was meant to be. No, activism came more real in my life when I became 25. I looked at my past. It was an ugly past growing up. I think when I made 25, I was able to focus on me and self-care, getting a job, holding a job for 40 years, but I still work today. And becoming active with Hawaiian things, Kanaka things,
Do you recall the Glades?
Oh, yes. We frequent there. We girls from Waianae frequent there.
Tell us about the Glades.
The Glades. It was a safe haven for all of us because in the 60s, the 70s, we were, what was what did the law call it? Deceptive. That we were boys pretending to be girls, and it was against the law what we were doing, so we had to wear the badge, I'm a boy Glade. It was hard. And the Glades was a safe haven for all of us. because the owner, Mama Aguiar, as we all knew her, made use of us because she saw we could do things. And we learned a lot from her. It was a safe place for all of us. It was our home. It was our home because, and then we were from Waianae, so we'd go there, and then we always came back to Waianae.
Were
So.
you a performer there as well?
No, we actually were all just growing up Mahus, and we went there to support, see our other sisters, and it was just good knowing that we weren't alone in the world, that there were many other girls like us out there, that we could support each other. The world wasn't cruel at that time about us, you know. At the same time, milk was going on in San Francisco. The gays were fighting for their equality as well.
So you got involved in political activism in your mid-20s. And so how did that activism look besides going to testify? You provided testimony for different bills.
We did. I was on the neighborhood board here on Waianae for 2 years. The first of my kind to be on the neighborhood board. It was very interesting. We had many bills that we passed here, you know, many of the care homes that are present now, we had a lot to do with that. I think the bills at that time will always be Hawaiian bills that came up. And that was what I would do, you know. I till today, I'm still working how to make it easier for the Kanaka, what we are what we are deprived of.
So your present job is what?
Caregiver.
You're a caregiver now. So
Caregiver.
You have been interested in caregivers and caregiving for a while?
I was always a caregiver. When my husband passed away in 2009, I just left the field and kind of just went into a grieving for 5 years. And I came back to life in 2014 where I said, okay, enough crying. You need to take control of your life and you need to move on again.
So what do you think your activism, your participation in the community on these kinds of issues impacted the community?
It has impacted the community, you know, things regarding Hawaiian homelands, Makua, Makua, all of the lands, you know, Kalamai, and all. It still impacts us till today. All of the land, what to do to the Hawaiian people, how we're treated. Being that we are the host culture of this land and how we are being denied the right of passage, if you will, to many things.
You're saying, I think, that you were impacted doubly because you're a Bahu and you're Hawaiian.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Your activism kind of encompassed both areas.
Yes, both areas, Auntie Lynette. Yes. We haven't been treated fair either by society's norms. You know, we're like, well, what is society's norm? Man, woman, procreation. And then here we come into the picture, like being a third gender. And for me, knock. LGBTQ is just one big, so many pronouns, whatever. It means to me all the same thing. And because we live in the island, it's so much easier to work with that one word, mahu, as opposed to LGBTQIA.
Why is it easier here?
Because I think the real people, straight people, are having a hard time to even stomach that, quite frankly, because there's too much terminologies. And again, people become afraid. Society becomes afraid of what they don't understand or don't want to understand. So if you're local, I say you're mahu, it's easier to understand, oh, okay, so you're like that. Or the kind, or it's easier to understand. Right now I'm doing research about lesbians. I don't know, you know, have they been raised like me? Have they been subjected to perhaps to the same kind of abuse, physically, emotionally? I'm not sure, so I'm doing research on that right now.
Yes, I was just going to ask you actually about the kinds of abuse you may have suffered and how that might have triggered your moving in
Oh.
a particular direction to where you are today?
Now, I knew what it was going to be when I was 5 years old. The hardship. I also knew that the hardship that was going to be there to get from there to where I am today wasn't going to be an easy road. But I have. I've gotten there. And what was the question again, Auntie?
Just about discrimination and how that impacted you when you were, because
Discrimination.
the idea being like, when did you first become active?
25.
Politically active.
Yeah.
And so you're saying 25, but some of your comments point to much earlier understanding
Yes,
of what
yes.
was going on.
Yeah.
Were you pushing back then?
Yes, I
So
was.
what did that look like?
Ugly.
No, I mean specifically, what was the pushback? Was like running away or not talking?
You know, living on the streets, having to hustle to make a living just because you're like
You
Mo.
lived on the street?
I was homeless in the streets after I graduated from high school from here. And I left my uncle and auntie because, of course, you know, unless you walked in somebody's shoes, you can never know. So I just had to run away, go live in town with the rest of the Mahous, and send to make a dollar. Uh, and yeah, hustling was the thing at that time. So hustling is what it is.
So would you say then that a kind of activism or political activism that you're talking about really kind of happened on the street?
It happened on the streets as well. When you're hustling, you're meeting, you know, people that are against us, that don't like it. And so
But you learned to survive and thrive.
we learned to survive and thrive. Yes, we have. We did.
You did it. How long?
3 years.
3 years. What did you learn from that?
I never want to go back to that.
Okay, so what you learned something. Yeah. Got it.
Never wanted to go back to that.
How's your health?
I have to share with you folks at 74, my health is excellent. I and probably it's because I want to live to see 100 knocks.
Why?
Because my work here is not done yet.
What does
And
your work look like?
my work looks like I need to see some of the lands that belong to this provincial government. It needs to go back to where it belongs, our Kanaka, always. I want to see the people that are homestead eventually own that damn land. I do. I want them to own the land. Why can't they only own the house and they don't own the land? I don't understand that. Okay. The language, our language has resurfaced again. I want to sue the state. Here, how's this? I want to sue the state for denying me my language. I would like to meet up with others to talking about activism, sue the state for denying me my language when in history, this provincial government denied me when I was born the ability to speak my language. Do you speak your own language today, Knox?
I'm learning.
Okay, so see, so we I feel stupid when children are olelo and I can't even make it out. I feel deprived. I feel deprived. And it wasn't my fault. It was just the provincial government silence our language, silence our culture, silence our dance, silence our music. I think that's a big court case.
Are you going to follow up on that? As far as
I am following up on that, yes.
Good to hear.
I'm with you by my side.
I'm coming. Have you been pretty much healthy your whole life?
I have. I have been blessed to be healthy my whole life. I have. And I will share with you because I acknowledge a core every day. If we don't acknowledge a core every day, I think it makes a difference when we acknowledge a higher power than us. And I do every day. For everything, my health. So I only take one medication. At 74, I just do my high blood pressure pills. My classmates that are 2 years younger than me, they're like on 12 to 13 forms of medication. And they live in their medication. They live in their medication. They don't ever think about trying to win themselves off this medication. And yet they are Hawaiian. Yes, they are Hawaiian. And, you know, when we get together, they always ask, like, how is it, Kim, you're so healthy? I said, well, you know, you have to take care of yourself spiritually, Kokina, your body, emotionally. You have to be centered. Self care. Isn't it all about self care now? So I love self care. I think the last time I was sick was in 2017. And if COVID never came, I would have never taken the shots. But I eventually took the COVID shots after I did research myself. You know, I didn't listen to people. Oh no, you know they're trying to implant things, and I said, oh my god, no, I'm going to read it. And I decided to go and get the COVID injections, and I've been following up right to now. But my health is good. I still drink. I love drinking. I still drink. You know.
You smoke?
No, I don't smoke, and maybe that's why my health is good. I think my last checkup for my eyes was when I was 70. My eyes have not changed since I was 50. So my yeah, this is a quote telling me you take care of yourself, I take care of you, and I believe that. So, and I think you are a testament to Akua's blessings as well. You know, it's hard to think Auntie's going to be 80 pretty soon because you don't look your set age.
How do you feel when you're working with other Pluto activists? Do you know many? I mean, besides myself.
Sadly, I do. Sadly, I do. Sadly, I do. But nevertheless, we have to work together, right? I don't think that we'll always share the same opinions or have the same outlook because so many people come from different vantage points. I just want to think, you know, for the people, by the people, and the Constitution.
What constitutes your support group? Do you have a support group? Do you have just a bunch of people that you hang out with?
Wanaimoku Kupuna Council. Wanaimoku Kupuna Council is my totally support group. Totally support group. I haven't been able to be in the best group of all. Of course, I'm on the Lualule Hawaiian Civic Club as well. I don't make too much meetings because I'm really busy on a personal level and on our initiative level right now. So,
Can you talk a little bit about that project that you're working on?
we're in the West Side Stories, and it's an initiative. I have a board. It's Ka Ko'o Kupuna Menahoa Mahu, helping the elderly and gay friends. And we have a location, and this initiative is just about working with seniors and my community, my LGBTQ or Mahu community, that do not have support networks in store for them at home. Uh, they're lonely. They're facing disparities. Nobody to talk to. Um, it's a lonely journey for many people out there. So our initiative is going to be we have a drop-in center and you can come and have coffee, talk stories. You're going to sign in. We have a logistics lady that's already working on the logistics of that. But just to come in and talk sorry. And for those who don't need any help, we have workshops, genealogy, all kind of workshops going to be in place. And the goal will be to either have a place where somebody like me, if I'm lonely, oh God, I can look forward to going to Kako'o today and then hang out for a little while and talk about what's going on in my life.
Do you
Or
think the social component is important?
yes,
Wow.
yeah, it is. Because if you don't have too much social component, I think you can wither away. And for some, like my mom, as much as I loved her, she was always lonely. And you know, lonely. I always want to say if you're lonely, I don't know, does one love themselves? I love myself too much to ever be lonely. I love myself too much that I would be in that situation. And anyway, there's a lot of people out there that need that same love. So I'm fortunate that I love myself. At the same time, there's others out there that have lost their way and they've lost that social interaction. You know, more the more you stay home, these walls become a prison. For some, not all, I'm not sure. When our kakao gets going, I will be out there looking for these people so we can talk story and come down to the program. Have tea, have coffee, talk with me, talk to my boy, because we're all on the same page.
Your children are here. They live here.
Yes, my son and his girlfriend.
So you're not exactly lonely.
Oh, and I'm always wanting to be alone.
Oh, okay, it's the other way around.
No.
Need a break. Need a break. So, are there any events or activities that you've done in the past that you are really happy that you participated in?
I think we attended, as I shared with you, the Senate Bill 1. That was a great thing. That law went through, so you can now have same sex marriages. I think that was historical. Um, God, and then down here when Waianae has a lot of events, I've always been the MC for the events, of course. But with the Parks and Recreation Director, she passed on. I'm no longer doing that, but we're now involved with Waianae Mokukupuna Council. And there's a lot going in on that, there's a lot going in on that, which is beneficial to me. I think we only meet twice a month, and I try to get there. I'm still working to bring my kupuna there because she's like 87 years old, and she's very strong. She's very strong. So I'm looking for that to come there. Neighborhood board. I think I'd like to go to the neighborhood board and meet with them in Nanakuli because I understand they have an issue with the Waianae Kupuna Council, and I would sure like to talk to whatever issues they have going on with that.
Oh, I was just going to ask you whether there were any other activities that caused you some stress. So,
I don't know about stress, to be honest. It just makes me pissed off.
Anger.
Because angry, yeah, I do. Because you don't go casting stones at things that are good for your community. Actually, you applaud them. I think since Waianae Mokukupuna Council has become real, that they have bypassed all the political BS. They have. Because tradition dictates kupuna, ohana, and it's funny, everybody respects that, the kupuna. So we're pioneers, and we're actually traveling very fast. Uh, and we've taken on a lot. We've had a lot of legislators coming down here, um, which are very interesting. And They've come here to meet with our group, of which I'm very proud to be a part of. Yeah, and we're actually the original 10, myself, Auntie Lynette, and others, which again I take pride in because we were there for a new journey.
I heard you sing a number of times up here at ukulele. So you have multiple talents. But are you also a designer?
Maybe hair and designing hair because I'm a cosmetologist of 40 years. Yeah, so big drag hairdos.
Yeah, because I wondered about that. I know that there was going to be a show one time, and I asked about who was making the costume. But you said something like, "Oh, everybody's making their own."
Yeah, we had a group before, the Glazed Glamour Girls Review, and everybody did their own costumes and their own jewelry. I'm the only one that had to buy my own things because I'm not a sewer. I do hair. I do hair. The girls are teaching me how to do more drag makeup for the stage, and we have more than mastered that. So, mhm.
Is this something you're proud of?
Very proud of.
Very proud of.
Yes,
Do
yes.
you intend to do more of? Do you intend to do more of it?
God, with everything going on, I hope so. I hope so.
So back to the earlier question I was asking about political activism. Even though you said you started
25. But
25.
actually, I was more active in my younger
You
days.
were.
Yeah, yeah,
And
probably.
some of that has been coming out, the things that you had to put up with and the things you did in response to
Well,
that.
so I understand that Cully Watson is now Department of Hawaiian Homeland
Yeah.
again. Well, I don't know if you folks know he was there a long time ago. Probably not.
Tell me about that.
Cully Watson was the director of the Hawaiian Homeland
yes,
a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't accomplish anything at that time.
Okay.
And no, I think so. He's been given a great opportunity to go again. Okay, with that, and I hope this time around better things come about for my community, for the Kanaka, for the Kanaka Maoli.
Bring that up because you
Um,
think you have an opportunity to help him move along.
become better.
Yeah.
Sure, I understand that he's part to do with Uluke Kukui. And so I'm watching that. And if I get a chance to talk to him, I will. John Wahe, our governor, I don't think he did a good job either for being a Hawaiian,
You think you would probably do it a little better, or you could help him do it a little better?
Yes, he could have pushed more things for the Hawaiians, really, really, you know. Our government, OHA, I expect more from them also to do more. Because I always get the monthly Kawaiola, I always read that. Where are we right now? And okay. I was just looking for a grant to go back to school to get CNA because I want to get CNA training, but it doesn't offer any grants for individuals. It's more for groups. Yeah. So, and I don't think they think of that one person, maybe all those one persons that might want to get that. I'm calling Visa for CNA to see if they have. Maybe I can get money because I'm Hawaiian and they can pay for my schooling.
These are probably actions that you could turn into political actions.
Yes. Hmm.
Because people out there will help.
I made a whole list today before I came here, and it's in my car.
Of the things that you're going to be working on?
That I was going to talk about, but we're talking about it right now.
Okay.
How interesting.
Did you have questions you wanted to ask?
I wanted to ask you about, given that you have to battle, it sounds like the discrimination against yourself because you're Hawaiian and Mahu. What propelled you to continue on the fight?
I'm Hawaiian. I'm actually 60% Hawaiian. And I know that we lost a lot of things. The Hawaiians, Yeta Kanaka, we lost a lot of things. We lost land. We lost our identity. That's still in me. It still angers me. I don't think I have time to cry, but I have time to do this, time to do this, time to hold a sign, and it's still wrong. It's wrong. Give us back what we're worth. I believe that we're a very rich people. I believe we're very rich. We have been denied the monies, the lands. Now, the Mohu side, fighting for that our right to be here. I've worked, I pay taxes, I have voted my entire life. That gives me the right to be here, to be whatever I want to be, with somebody judging me that I am different by society standards. No, that's your standards. We're all we all have a right to be here, no matter what orientation you are. And I have always been like this. I don't get sad or depressed. I get mad only because I know my rights as a Kanaka and a right as a human being. I don't give a damn what I am. We have rights, all of us, okay? And if we come under the United States Constitution, that's my right too. Yeah, so that's what continues my fight. And I think that's why my health will always be fine, because I think all of our rights, it's umaukea o ka'aina I kapono, the rights perpetuated, our rights perpetuated in righteousness. That's something that we should always remember, Hawaii's motto.
Is there anything you're particularly proud of?
Me.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of me. We've come to a lot of, maybe all of us, we've come to a lot of adversities in our lives. I mean, talk about discrimination. Not only me, there are other ethnic groups that are still being targeted. The Japanese, I think a while back, were targeted because they were from Japan, and because of what happened at Pearl Harbor. Oh, it happened. We can't make it any better. What we can do is pono together. But I'm a cosmetologist of 40 years. I've worked with the mental health. the State Department of Mental Health for 5 years as a social worker in the Clubhouse Psychosocial Rehabilitation Program. Me being Mahu, working with the State Department of Health. That's damn awesome. I actually got out of my comfort zone of doing hair and worked in an all straight community in a mental health facility. And the interesting thing about that was they thought I was a client. And when they found that I actually worked there, also you work here. And that was the State Department, the state hospital people. They would come every often. I'd laugh. So they would tell me things like, how long have you been here? And just by that question, I said, they think I'm a client. I said, well, I've been here for a long time. How long? Well, like 10 years. Are you happy here? I said, I'm so happy here. And then when we have lunch, our program director goes around because you really that psychosocial program, you're not supposed to know who the members are or the workers are because it's designed so you don't know who's who. And then at lunch hour, she's going around and want to introduce my staff and go down there. And Kim is a part of my staff also. And then I can see the state hospital staff going like, oh my God, they have that look like, oh my God. Oh my God. And they'll tell Kim never said she worked there. And my director said, well, that's Kim, because you probably thought she was here. So you thought she was the program coming here and she works here.
That's definitely something to be proud of.
I am, but at the same time, while I was working at these straight facilities and I was only Mahu in there, I knew I was going to be faced with some kind of discrimination or something that it's going to just come to me and I'm going to have to learn to roll with it and grow from that. I think as a case manager, one of my supervisors was a female, a lesbian female, a weightlifter. And I kind of told her, like, Mayor, her name is Mayor Otis Jones. I said, if I do have a group of people that I'll be working with, can it all be ladies? And she just looked at me, she said, no, you will have male and female, men and women. And she said, your issue with yourself, you need to work it through. And I looked at her, and she was right. Because I had my own fear of working with guys. I didn't think they're going to want to work with me because I am Mahu. And I didn't say anything. I told her, thank you very much. And I went to my desk and sat there. Okay, so I'm not going to have all women. I'm going to have men and women. I'll end up having the biggest men list of all, 40 men. And so I had to, figure out, okay, so how are you going to do this, Kim? So I would always meet them outside in Mother Nature, and we had a beautiful outdoors where you can go sit down and talk. Well, it was private, it was confidential, and I would say, hi, I'm your new case manager, shake their hands. No hugging, because I didn't know them. Like we hug each other, because it's local, but I didn't know. Shake their hand, and I said, I'm your new case manager, your new case worker. I am a who, and if you're not comfortable with that, I can find somebody else to work with you. They would look right at me and tell me, you local, eh? I said, yes, then that's okay with me. So that fear instantly left me. I guess it has a lot to do with acceptance and kind of like working with yourself too. So after that, I had more men on my caseload than ever before. So I learned to put that portion of my life on the side because the men were cool with me as long. They didn't matter what it was. I thought it would, but as long as I was local, not Haole, and I'm so local. So yeah, I am so proud of that. Those were my hurdles in my life. Even at 74, there will always be hurdles. There will always be hurdles, and I always rise to meet the occasion.
Do you see some of these past people nowadays? Did they ever come in and out of back and forth in your life?
No, 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 Not yet, because they were all out of Waianae. Yeah, and so no. But if they do, I think we'll be happy to see each other. Kim, I'm still alive.
What do you see for your future?
Ka ko'o kupuna menahoa mahu, getting that off the ground. Waine moku kupuna council, working with my kids that are at home with me now, loving them. My fourth son is coming from Miami, so like, oh, they all want to come home to mom.
How many children do you have?
Actually, I have 9, 5 girls and 4 boys. The boys keep in touch with me more. The girls are all like maybe married and but they always think that I don't love them because I don't bother them. I said, well, mother's working. I'm busy. You want to get together? Call me. We can go out for dinner. We can hook up. I said, your mother is a career woman. I've always been a career woman. I have. You've been a career woman. I'm sure you're a career woman, Knox. And when my husband was alive, he didn't like that I was a career woman. Well, there's so much things I want to get on out there that I need to do that I'd like to be involved with. So.
Can you talk about how activism has been a part of your journey for healing and joy? I hear a lot of joy when you speak
It
and like
is.
energy. And
It is.
can you talk about that?
I think every time I did a hurdle, I accomplished something for me. I said, you can do this, being even if you're labeled. So every time I conquered a conquest, I was like, okay, Kim, you're better. Every time I finished my beauty college, that was great to do. Leeward Community College when I was there and getting my AA, that was a big task for me because I was at 45 at that time. And everybody else in the room was under 20s or 19, right? So, um, working with the State Department of Health with, I'm going to always use the term straight people. And if they did have gay people there, they were like in the closet. They never identified themselves, right? Because they don't want people to know. And here I am loud and good morning and boisterous and like, Kim, good morning, Kim. That was, good morning, and so those were my accomplishments. I think they're the joys that are in my heart today, and it's my powerhouse, that it keeps renewing itself and renewing itself every day. I know my energy never seems to go away. It's here. Right. Before I used to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Now I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, and maybe I go to bed around 11 or 12 o'clock. No, I know. Then I get up, set out the table of hand. I'm getting brainstorms, and I'm writing it all down. And my kids will say, Mom, are you up? I said, Mom's out. Sorry. And I got my music going because I love music now. Hawaiian music, and I'm writing. I guess you could call them inspirations. Our kako is getting off the ground real good. So I have a meeting with Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement with Visa on the 29th. They want to help us get our initiative off the ground. So if I do, I'd like you to come down. Auntie Letna's going to be there. Wainamoku Kupana Council. I heard another community wants to start their own. I want to go there. I'm trying to see how can I run away. I told my boss that I work with the caregiving. I said, as this kakao grows, I might have to separate myself from. She said, no, you can't. We need you. We need you to be with mom. So I said, okay. So I think my 2 major things that are going on is kakao and Wainamoku Kupana Council, and then working with my kids to become better human beings.
Any final thoughts you might want to share? Or was that it?
Never stop. Never stop. I can. I will. I have done it. That's I always tell my kids. No, there's no you can't. You can. I will. I must. That's all I know. And maybe, Knox, that's because That's because maybe I wanna say that my parents did the best thing for me, kicking my ass out of the house because they didn't like what I was eventually to become. And with that, I always say, I'm going to show you what I can do. I'm going to show you what this Mahu can do. And everybody can live to that too. That's your catalyst to like, I'm not giving up. I don't give up. I don't give up. I don't give up. We just, it's a good thing. And then you touch people a lot. I'm touching you today. I hope
No.
that you take my energy home with you. And oh, yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to tell us and or the next generation about how your activism impacts your life?
Yes, don't give up. Be true to your cause, whatever your cause may be. Follow through. Do your research. Do your research so when you share your mana'o with people, you know what the hell you're talking about. And to thine own self be true.